you did last year?
I wouldn't say anything. I mean, obviously we prepare for every game in the same way. I don't think there's ever been a shoot around or any little thing that we do film that we have done differently in my 4 years. But you can always tell, the level of effort, motivation, little things like that, little things especially, just trying to make sure that everything is perfect in place. It's never going to be perfect, but just trying to, strive for that perfection, expect it from everybody else, demand it from everybody else. It's going to make a huge difference, especially, last year I remember before the Ohio State game, I've had one of the worst shoot-arounds ever. So I'm making sure that doesn't happen tomorrow.
I know you guys would like to dwell on losses often, but has that loss came up at all this past week? Have you guys talked about it, gone through it?
The Ohio State loss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Coach, and he told me I should rewatch that game before the game, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Tonight?
Remember? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I need to do it. I feel like, I just need to remember that feeling, so I make sure I don't experience it.
Have you watched any clips from it since last year?
I have rewatched that game right after the game, a couple weeks after the game. Let's not say right after. A couple weeks after the game, I have watched it. I've analyzed it. I've learned from it. I've done a lot, but I feel like I need a little more reminder.
Duke is going to try to slow you guys down. How are you preparing for a team that's already come away with one upset?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we know how quick, athletic, how aggressive they are. I feel like that's what really makes them such a good team, and as any other team, we have a lot of respect for them. But I feel like Coach was especially talking today with teams like that are athletic, that are quick, that want to, get in the lane. You want to shrink the court, and you want to make their athleticism as minimal as possible, if that makes sense, because they're still going to be, aggressive, get to the boards. I feel like boxing out is going to be a huge thing for us. So yeah, I feel like, whoever punches first.
Surprised Coach talked with you after the Syracuse game. He said he was going to talk with you the rest of the week after you fouled out. Did it take him long to come around?
No, I actually came from talking to him.
Okay.
So he didn't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, obviously I have really came into that game 100%, wanted to, lock down their best player. That was my job. That's what I really wanted to do, and I kind of got lost in that whole thing. I feel like I got emotionally so exhausted to the point where, I just committed the dumbest fouls and made the dumbest decisions that I could. But I feel like, in the other hand, I really left it all out there. So I feel like it's hard, you get the good parts, but you're also going to get the bad parts. But I feel like me as a senior, I can't do that, and that was bad, and I was very disappointed in myself because I felt like I almost lost that game for us, and that's why I have an amazing set and group of teammates that, are going to bail me out. They did.
Paige said you will respond this game, that you'll be different, just like you always bounce back, and you'll be tough and locked in. You feel that way? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to let 30 seconds of bad decisions, get me out of this tournament or, mentally completely mess me up. I'm not letting that happen. I'm not a freshman anymore. I'm not a sophomore. I feel like when you're a senior, even when you have bad moments like that, when you make bad decisions, you need to bounce back immediately because as you can tell, we have a short bench and we don't have anybody that's going to, step in my place and, give me a breather, give me a break. So I feel like, we all need to be solid. There's not a lot of us and we all need to cover it for each other. But firstly, we need to, take care of ourselves personally and look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, what can I do better for the betterment of this team? And that's exactly what I have to do.
Well, you can be one of only 9 players to reach 1,000 rebounds tomorrow. She only needs one, so she should get it.
Yeah. Can
you just talk about how important her rebounding has been for this, undermanned, shortened team?
I mean, huge. I was joking about it today, Paige, and I said that either her or I want to be that missed shot or missed layup that we're going to rebound for. But
always too many.
Yeah, just one. But no, it's been huge. I feel like I can stand here and talk about Aaliyah for hours. The things that she has done over the span of 4 years, but especially this year, when we kind of needed her the most, she just steps up every time and she never complains. And whatever's thrown her way, Aaliyah responds in her own mature way, and she deals with it and she delivers every single time. So just so privileged to be able to play with her.
How have you seen Paige just navigate the ups and downs of coming back this season from injury and having to have the spotlight on her again and lead this team, in ways that maybe people didn't think because you guys thought you'd be healthier? How she just handled all that?
Yeah, I don't know how she does that. I feel like that's what makes her so great, because it looks, from the outside, when we all see it, it looks so effortlessly. The way she does it, she has so much pressure. And I'm not talking just about social media, the press, people watching, the haters. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, how much pressure she puts on herself. And that is an enormous amount of pressure that I don't think any of us could handle. So she's so mature. She's learned so much. And although all of her injuries have been so unfortunate, she would not be the player and the person that she is today. So at the end of the day, she's just thankful for everything, and you can tell how much she appreciates every second on the court and how much of a boost all those injuries gave her, and she's right there, and she never left, So I'm glad that everybody's finally giving her the spotlight again that she deserves, and very proud of her.
Nika, you're one of 5 players that played in this game last year. You and Aaliyah have been the 3 others for Duke. What have you seen from them differently? I know they're young and tenacious, but what impresses you about them?
About our freshman?
No, Duke.
Oh.
5 players played in the game last November. Okay.
Yeah.
They're a completely different team, as is yours.
Okay.
What have you seen about Duke? What impresses you about them?
What impresses me about them is the way they go at it. They just don't give up. I feel like even the last game against Ohio State, they were trailing by a lot, and then they just came back, which, just gives us another reason to, full gas, what do you call it? I don't know how to say it. Whatever. Put a foot on the gas and just don't lift the foot off the gas, because, they're persistent. They're going to want to come back. It's March, it's win or go home, and they know that, and we know it. So I feel like, that just gives us another reason to, play for full 40 minutes, never give them any room to come back, or even if they're trailing by a lot or by a little, even if they're going, we know we're just going to play full 40 minutes, and I feel like that's what impresses me the most about them, is that they don't give up. So.
Coach said that even though you guys have lost 5 players to injuries, that he believes this team is more mentally ready and physically ready than last year's, that you were just worn out last year going into the tournament. Do you feel that, and why?
Yeah, I feel like it's also, we have Paige. Last year we didn't have Paige, which is a big difference. But I feel like, last year a lot of us were not prepared, including me, for everything that we had going on that year. The injuries, the mental aspect of everything going on was just overwhelming, and I feel like Coach just knew we were going to blow up in one moment, one game, and unfortunately it was that one. But this year, I hate to say it, but we're kind of used to all of that, and we know how to respond to it better. We know how to lift each other up better. We know, when somebody's down, we can tell, and, it's easier to approach somebody and be like, we need you, we don't have anybody else. And so I feel like everybody has a little bit more responsibility on their shoulders, and they're aware of it, and we use that pretty well, which is, weird to say that, you only have 7 players, and when somebody's down, they get back up so quickly, but knowing that you have nobody else is, it leaves you no other choice.
One offbeat question. I saw you guys had 5 managers dressed today as male practice players and go out there and help you. How much does that help when you are so undermanned?
Oh my God, they are everything to us, and not just this year. I feel like for 4 years without them, we would never reach the things that we always reach, and they don't get a lot of praise. They don't get any media time. They don't get any spotlight. They don't get anything, but they know how thankful we are, and they know they are part of all our successes and all our wins, because without them we don't exist, and they play and they go out there every single day and help us win those big games. So super thankful for them. We would never achieve anything without them.
Back to that Ohio State game for a minute. As a whole this year, it seems like the team is much better prepared to handle the pressure than last year. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely. I feel like, first of all, we have 3 ball handlers this year, so it's much easier to just move the ball and know that it's gonna be more secure. But I feel like that game also taught us a lot, and that means even if we we don't have 3 ball handlers, we need everybody to be prepared for, everything that can be thrown our way. So I feel like we have been through a lot of situations of pressure in practice this year. A lot, because this is exactly what we want to get prepared for. And even though we're not playing Ohio State, maybe we're playing Duke, that is also very, very aggressive, can press, super athletic, they're quick. So we're definitely going to use everything that we've learned.
We see that everything Paige does for you on the court, obviously, but like you kind of alluded to this. Just how much does it help your mindset just having her?
A lot. I mean, she's just that secure player, secure person that you can always give the ball to and good things are going to happen, and it's rare to have that on the team. I don't think a lot of teams have the privilege of having a player like that, but we're very lucky and grateful that she's on our team. And I wouldn't even say just on the court, just off the court. When you talk to her about the game, the things that you see, she can always give you a very good constructive opinion, which can also be criticism. It doesn't matter. She's going to say what she thinks, and she's usually right because she watches so much basketball. She studies basketball. She learns basketball every day in any aspects. I see her in her room. She constantly has her iPad watching NBA games. Whatever game is on, she's going to be watching it. And when you know that, it gives you so much confidence because she knows the game so well, and nobody knows the game better than her, on this team. So it gives us a lot of confidence and security.
Have you noticed any difference in her since the Big East tournament started? She said something about she decided going into that she wanted to play with more joy and try and put the pressure out of her mind. Have you noticed that just in your game?
Absolutely. I feel like the biggest moment for her was when Aaliyah got injured in that Big East tournament, because that's when we knew nobody's feeling sorry for ourselves, and this is not going to be given to us, these wins, and this is all we got, and we got to work with it. And she said okay, and ever since then you don't have to tell her twice to shoot it when she's open. You don't have to tell her twice, because she is, at the end of the day, a pass-first player. She likes to pass a lot. But with this team, we need her to shoot the ball every single time she's open because, she's not going to be open a lot of times, especially with teams getting better and better. So I feel like, she's taking it seriously, and as versatile and great as she is, she makes all those shots look so easy, and we need her to shoot them, period. So I feel like, she's just been so great at making those decisions.
Nika, you talk about playing with joy. You could have 1 game left, you could have 4 left, and there's that fine line there that you walk. Are you allowing yourself to enjoy this?
That's a hard question for me. It's a hard question for me. I feel like it's kind of split in the middle. I am definitely enjoying this. I'm enjoying every single moment with my teammates, on and off the court. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, I am sad that it's coming to an end, And I'm trying to put that aside, but it's always there. It's always in the back of my mind. But I feel like that's a good thing because it makes me work harder. It makes me more motivated to make sure that every single second that I spend out there is 100%, that I'm doing the right thing, and not commit stupid fouls and, do stuff like that. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, but
you get killed on the radio too. Yeah. Like I just trashing you all the time.
But yeah, just making sure that every second I spend out there is 100%, and so I don't regret anything.